Hi, I'm Tiffany Tobel, and I just left therapy.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Topel, and I just left therapy.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Topel, and I just left therapy.
My name's Tiffany Topel, and my hair's half up, half down.
Hi. 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 Oh my god. Let's see. I'm searching for an air horn sound. Air horn. Anyone? Nope. That's fine. I just left therapy and I learned and I'm learning that I cannot handle criticism, which I kind of touched on last week, but it was made even more clear this week. And my homework is basically to work on my voiceover demo that I made 2 years ago after procrastinating on it for 6 years? 5 years? We'll say 5. Let's give myself a little slack. I only procrastinated making my voiceover demo for 5 years. But at the encouragement of my friend Robert Smigel, see, that's why I wanted an air horn. I want to have an air horn every time I name drop, which isn't going to be often, let's be real. But I do happen to be friends with Robert Smigel of Saturday Night Live fame, of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog fame. He's a dear friend of mine, and he is the reason I have a career at this point. So shout out to him. He has a podcast. Oh, I should write a little song for every time the Birds Bees comes out. Anyway, I can't handle criticism, and the way that is manifested in procrastinating is kind of obvious. But let's start over. Anyway, because I can't handle criticism, I had created a voiceover demo and it was too long. It was 4 minutes long and it was all over the place. And Robert sent it to a friend of his who then gave me some feedback on it. And I think I was so exhausted by the feedback, which was honestly normal feedback. Because after I'd worked so hard on it already, I then got some notes on it and I went, yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I never got to it. So this week, my therapist wants me to at least touch on the voiceover demo, which honestly, I do want to do. I want to do voiceover. One of my dreams is to get on a long-running animated series and just show up in that booth, do my thing, and walk the streets with my pockets full of money and no one knows who I am. The little animation voiceover that I have done, I really enjoyed. And I think I'm pretty good at it, if I do say so myself.
So let's tack that up on the vision board for this week, this year,
this lifetime. What did I learn from last week's show? From editing and watching and criticizing myself for last week's show? We learned that was not the angle. I looked like a young bullfrog. So we've lifted up the angle a little bit. So it's a little less this and a little more this. A little less this, a little more this. I'd planned on looking hotter for this one. Yeah, that fell through. It's... Okay, I know the first day of fall was like 9 days ago.
But today feels like the first day of real fall. It's a little chilly out.
And I'm in sweatpants. And I'm in my Babysitter's Club shirt. I'm not wearing a bra. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the whole shirt. You know, I can do this in a way that is decent.
Christy's great idea.
I might be a Babysitter's Club scholar. Or I was at one point in my life, or I thought myself one at one point in my life. I used to read so many Babysitter's Club books. I would bring about 12 of them to school, And I used to go to this after-school program called Y Kids, which took place in the gym of my elementary school. And it was kind of like a free daycare, essentially, after school for a couple of hours. And you would play sports, or you remember those little pot holders you would make with those little stretchy rubber bands? That was a thing you could do. But you know what I did? I sat against the wall and I formed a moat of Babysitter's Club books around me. I put myself in a little fortress of Anne M. Martin. And I should say Anne M. Martin because it's not just Babysitter's Club. We're talking California Diaries. Anyone? Sunny? Those books were scandalous. So I would put myself in a little jail of Babysitter's Club books and I would read one. And I remember these two girls walked by and they looked at me and they said,
All you ever do is read.
and I was like, yeah, all you ever do is... And that's probably exactly what I did because I was too nice and I could not and still can't think on my feet of good insults or even good compliments. So yeah, I read a lot as a child. I read a lot of Babysitter's Club. I wanted to be Anne M. Martin. I wanted to write a series of books and illustrate, perhaps. She was not an illustrator, but I also wanted to be an illustrator at one point. There was a short phase of my childhood in which I didn't really I sort of abandoned being a performer. That was the beginning of my life through maybe age 8. And then around between ages like 8 and 10, I wanted to be a writer or a vet or both. I was like, I'm going to be a poet and a vet. Which any poets or poet/vets out there, drop a line in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Fast forward to high school. I had a boyfriend who was very smart and I guess I did have a sound loaded up and it's just sort of the regular default synth. It's not a sine. It's not just a regular sine with a saw. Look at me trying to act like I know the anatomy of a synth. I kind of do. You know, that's something that I should teach myself. I need to do a little more self-education / someone needs to teach me. I am a little stuck lately in pretty much all aspects of my life, including as a music producer, and I should probably take a class or two. But you know why I don't? Because I'm afraid. I get so embarrassed when I do something and it's not 100% perfect. That is f***ed up. That's messed up. That's messed up. I'm embarrassed when someone's like, good, you should change this about it. And that in and of itself is embarrassing. Really? Tiffany, you think you're perfect? Cringe. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, you guys, I feel like I don't want to say my therapist's name. Let's just say her name is Janice. Janice is helping me loosen up. Because this butthole is, see, I can't think. Probably gonna cut that out. Probably gonna cut it out. Probably gonna cut that out. Probably gonna cut it out. Where was I? So when I was in high school, I had a bit of an older boyfriend who was very intelligent and very online. And he hipped me to a website called everything2.com. Everything2.com still exists. And it was basically Wikipedia before Wikipedia was a thing. It was a user-generated just sort of database of articles. They were called nodes that people would just write about various topics. And I was fascinated by this website. And I said, I want to write something. What am I an expert on? Okay, not that. I think the only thing that I could probably consider myself an expert on is the Babysitter's Club. So I wrote a node on the BSC, and it's still up there on everything2.com. My username, I believe, was Cornflake Girl. Never was a cornflake girl. Thought it was a good solution, hiding with the risen girl. I need to watch the Lilith Fair documentary, you guys. I haven't watched it yet. Shocking. There's so many things that I need to see and watch and do, and I just don't. Why? What am I doing instead? Looking like a young bullfrog. Talking
To you.
Anyway, yes, I am aware that they are doing a Babysitter's Club musical. Thank you all for sending me that press release. I know and adore the director, Annie Tipp. Annie Tipp, if you're watching, face tape goes a long way. I'll just say this. I'm a Christie. I think I'm a Christie / Marianne based on looks, but in reality, I'm Shannon. I'm Shannon, the alternate officer. And why? Yes, this is why I'm Shannon. Shannon went to a private school, which I did not, but she was very over-involved in extracurriculars, including tap dance. So she played violin, I think, and she had violin lessons, and she had dance lessons, and she did all this stuff, and that's why she was too busy to be a full member of the Babysitters Club, and we love a non-committed queen. So, and I really identify with that. I don't think there's a single world in which I could see myself going, I'm joining this club and I'm going to come every week. I'm joining this organization and I'm going to be an in good standing member and do all of the things. I've just never been a joiner. That's a lie. I joined a lot of things in high school, but that was just because I saw everything as an opportunity to make me a better actor, singer, dancer, and get me closer to being
A star on the stage.
even doing speech team or vocal jazz. I loved vocal jazz. Stay tuned. The OHS Stay Tuned. Anyone heard of us? We performed at Cosmic Rays in Disney World in the Magic Kingdom in 2003. You probably saw us. Don't worry about it. I don't let it go to my head. I was the alto too. I was. Here's the alto 2 line of the a cappella version of Africa by Toto. It's gonna take a life to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Ooh, do, 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 do. I know you were all singing along. I know you sang along with me just then. If you sang along, drop an emoji in the comments. Guys, I'm trying to be a good host. What am I trying to be? I'm trying to be me. I need time. I need space. I need me.
Say hello to the girl that I am. You're gonna have to see from my perspective.
This is a great segue into what else did we learn last week? Too many likes and ums. I speak like I am making my way through a traffic jam, and that's how I often feel in my brain. I watch people just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and they don't stop, and they're using these brilliant words and saying brilliant things, and it seems as if they never stop, whereas I kind of often feel like I'm getting a light shown in my eyes, like every few words. And I'm like, wait, stop. Can we turn that off, please? No pictures. No pictures, please. I just have paparazzi in my brain halting every journey I'm trying to make. Wow, that's actually like a really good metaphor because it's kind of as though I'm watching myself from the outside and performing for an invisible audience, for invisible people taking pictures of me, thinking that every word I say is that's going to be published in Us Weekly. That's going to be an OK ! Magazine. Because you know what? I do want to live in the UK. Wait, is OK? a British publication originally. I feel like the first time I went to the UK 20 years ago when I was studying abroad, that I saw OK Magazine for the first time. They might have it in the US now, but I think like that was a very UK thing back then. Oh my God, I wrote this down. My speech pattern is that of a new mom navigating a stroller through the Magic Kingdom in the middle of August. Wow. Poet, veterinarian, multi-hyphenate. I love when someone's a multi-hyphenate that doesn't make sense. It's like, I'm a mom, I'm a construction worker, and I'm a Reiki healer. Hell yeah. That'll never be me. I'm a multi-hyphenate, but generically so. Like, actor, singer, dancer, musician, music producer. And it honestly gets annoying. I think for most of my life, I thought that I had to be annoyingly talented and good at everything. And I think now as I get older, I'm realizing that that's obnoxious to most people. But I also don't want to let go of that. Maybe that's why. Guys, there's so much going in my head right now. I'm feeling really self-conscious right now, and I'm really censoring myself. And that's literally the opposite of what this is for. I need to go back to school. No, I don't. I don't need to go back to school, but I need a shakeup. I need a shakeup of my skills as a music producer, as a songwriter, as a speaker. This is my school. You're watching me. I'm giving myself a little school of how to exist on camera. I did speech team, but I feel like you would never know. By how I talk and how awkward I am and how awkward I feel. I was probably more capable at age 17 than I am now. But however, when I did do speech team in high school, I didn't do any of the real speech, the traditional speech events. I did, all right, sound off and the sound off if you did any of this. DI, dramatic interpretation. I did HDA, humorous duet acting, and I did pretty well, but I never made it to state. And do I still carry that with me every day of my life? Sure do. What am I doing? Can we take a pause for a second? I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't buy a lot of makeup, and I will use my makeup until it's like there's basically nothing in this anymore. This is like a play. This is a prop. This is a play toy. You know when you give like a little girl a plastic set of makeup that she just goes like this with? That's what this is right now. I think I bought this in like March. It's October 1st when I'm recording this. And I'm still using this mascara because I don't like to spend money on myself. One is because I don't have any. Susie Orman really got into my brain. I don't buy clothes. I did buy this t-shirt a year ago at Women and Children First in Chicago. Shout out. I think I've bought maybe 4 articles of clothing in the last year. One was kind of an expensive pair of pants from Aritzia. Those were like $100 and something. That's a lot for me. I know that's a lot for a lot of people, but that's really a lot for me. And the same goes for makeup. I just can't justify buying it until I'm out of debt. I have Susie Orman in my ear being like, you're not eating out until that debt's gone. And I don't. I really... Oh. I did it again. I basically cook 90% of my meals. I don't order ever anymore, which I moved out of New York City, and that actually is really helpful to curb one's food ordering. Because where I live now, it's like not as easy, it's not as cheap to just order DoorDash anymore. So I don't do that ever. Unless I'm traveling, and then I have to go usually eat at a restaurant, but I don't eat at restaurants. I don't get massages. I get a haircut like twice a year. I don't buy clothes, and I'm just working so hard at getting out of debt, and I'm still not there. I'm still not there, but I'm trying so hard, you guys. I don't want the show to be me feeling sorry for myself, but can I just say, some days I feel really damn sorry for myself. Which I'm embarrassed to even admit, because, I mean, look, I've got a really cute bedroom. I am alive. I am in good health, I think. But, damn it, if I couldn't have some work coming my way, or have a little more money coming my way so that I can get out of debt and start a savings account, which I don't have. Start a savings account, maybe invest something like these. These are the things I think about. It's boring, but I want it real bad, which is why I want to get a job on an animated series. I would be so good. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it with my whole chest. I would be really good on an animated series. So just, if you're out there, is this show a cry for help? Maybe. I got 4th place at sectionals my senior year for speech team. If anyone knows what that means I didn't make it to state by 1 slot. You have to get in 3rd place or higher to advance on to state in Illinois state speech team, and I got 4th place. My last meet of my career, they announced Tiffany Topol, 4th place, and I stood up and with tears rolling down my face. Now, do you want to know what my piece was that year? Yeah, I did Wit. Okay, I did an 8-minute selection of Wit, a story about a 50-something-year-old woman with ovarian cancer, and that was me, age 17, doubled over in pain. Dark stuff. Man, we really went for it. I don't know what speech team is like anymore, but we really went for it back then. I can't believe I did that. And I thought I was so good. I was writhing in pain. The tears were flowing. But some people didn't like that. They said, I literally had some judges say, "You're acting too much." This is not acting. You're supposed to be interpreting, not acting. Okay. Well, joke's on you, because I have a BFA in musical theater now and a net worth of 0. So, what are you doing? I bet you have an IRA. But do you have a radio show? Probably, actually. You might. That was one of the events, radio. I should have done radio. I think I would have liked radio or prose, perhaps. I'd thought about the non-acting, in air quotes, events that I would want to do. And I was like, I'd be interested in doing prose, which is basically you're just reading a story. You're just reading. Or radio, which I thought would be fun. I had a radio show in college, sure did, on WFMU, I think was the call letters for the station at Millikan University. Shout out. I had a little radio show with my friend Charles, and we would play all the indie hits of the day. Sandra Lerche, Sufjan Stevens. We would play... Do you remember that song? You sing water like rhymes, and I will take it if you can't take it. This is how we know, this is how we know. Block Party. We would play Block Party, probably. Kings of Convenience. Heard of them? That looks weird. Isn't that weird? The science of frame rate, making it look like my lips are just going really slowly, but no, they're vibrating at at quite a rate. Am I allowed to say that? This mascara is broken. I really like the Glossier mascara, actually, but it's kind of expensive. And this it's e.l.f. Lash Beats Defining and Lengthening Mascara. Now, I think because I bought this so long ago, 6 months ago, they just don't make it anymore. Or they do, but you have to get it on Amazon, and I try not to shop on Amazon. But every time I go to the store to try and find this particular mascara, it is not there. I also like this little sort of bronzy rose gold top on it. I don't like my makeup to be purple or teal, which is like a lot of makeup packaging is purple and teal. And I'm like, in 1997, sure, I would have been all over this. But I want my stuff to look neat and sophisticated. It's so stupid. I'm such a Capricorn. Is that a Capricorn thing? I remember the Not All Gemini's Instagram account once said that Capricorns love brand loyalty, but to something that is a little higher than basic, but still of good quality. Like they love to be brand loyal to Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day. And I was like, that's so me. Like I will not buy Dawn dish soap. I just won't, which is stupid because honestly, it's probably the best dish soap, but I hate the packaging and I don't like the way it smells. So I do Mrs. Meyer's. Does it work as well? I don't know. I kind of don't care. If the difference in performance is negligible, if it's pretty much the same, if one is a little less than the other, but that packaging is better, but that scent is better, I'm going for that. Now that actually doesn't sound like a Capricorn thing. Maybe that's my Cancer rising. Maybe it might be my Pisces Venus. It might be my Pisces Mars. I enjoy astrology, but sometimes I think I need to let go of it completely because it's just like, it's not doing me any, sometimes it just feels like it's not doing me any favors. For example, I just stopped breathing. I've got to look hotter next time. I've got to look hotter on the next show. I didn't feel like it today. I enjoy astrology, but I don't think it's doing me any favors. Case in point. Jupiter entered Cancer in June, like June 24th. Jenny Nicholas, shout out, adore her, keeps telling me, this is a big deal. This is huge for you. She's like, am I overselling this? Am I excited for you? Yes, I am, because I'm a Cancer rising. So Jupiter is in my first house for the next year. The last time Jupiter was in Cancer, I booked the national tour of Once, my dream show, and I made more money than I have ever made in my life. So I took this to mean, well, something similar is going to happen. And I had a callback for the Broadway revival of, you know what, I'm going to come out and say it. I had a callback in June for the Broadway, or May, for the Broadway revival of Chess. And I was convinced that I was going to get it. I was like, this is it. I will finally get my Broadway show. It's in the stars, Jupiter in Cancer. The last time this happened, I had a equally well-paying job, an equally life-changing job. I was like, my life's about to change. I'm about to have this life-changing opportunity. And okay, I hate to admit this. Did I cast a few spells? Sure did. Like literal spells. And spoiler, I didn't book the show. And I haven't booked anything since then. And I have had maybe 2 auditions since then. That was now 3.5 months ago. Things are so slow for me right now, career-wise, that I'm pretty sure that I accidentally cursed myself. That's what it feels like. I was trying to cast some spells for success, and I wonder if as a novice witch, I hate myself. I accidentally cursed myself. Instead of casting a good spell, I cast a bad spell. And the spell that I accidentally cast feels a lot like, oh, absolutely nothing's going to happen for you. And you're going to get really depressed. And all your money's going to run out. And you are going to realize that nobody wants you anymore and nobody's interested in you anymore. I'm just saying that that is how I have felt for the past 3 or 4 months. Get vulnerable, they said. Get vulnerable, Channy said this week. Say it out loud. Don't be afraid. This is what I'm doing. Maybe I should hire an Etsy witch to reverse whatever mistakes I made. Writing down my intention, folding it up, putting it in a basil plant with honey, and being like, yeah, there we go. I did it. I am a wreck. I'm a sad girl. I'm a sad, sad girl. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. The next time I talk to you guys, Life of a Showgirl will be out. Did I buy a ticket to go to the release party movie? Sure did. Did I buy the vinyl? I sure did. Just one. Just one. She started releasing those variants, and I said, that's none of my business. Do I have a record player? No. I need to get one. If anyone wants to send me like an Audio Technica record turntable as a gift, I will accept it because I have a lovely little record collection and I don't have a record player. I had one in my former relationship, but that belongs to him, and so I don't have a record player anymore. And I don't want to get a cheap little like Crosley because, again, Capricorn. The Capricorn in me says, I'm not going to spend $100 on a cheap turntable. I would rather wait and spend $350 on a good one. And that is how I think, and that is how I feel. But also that's kind of sometimes how my walls remain bare and my clothes remain stagnant and my life remains flatlined. So maybe I should rethink that. Oh, I do want to take this moment to thank at present, I would like to thank my 4 new subscribers, the 7 people that thumbs up, the 1 person that commented, and the 105 views on my last episode. Let's get it. Let's, you know what? Let's try and do 20% more. Let's do 20% more this week. 20% better. That's a lot. I should probably say 10. I should probably say 5%. All right, I gotta go. Thanks. Bye. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks.